My name's Andrew Jones, I'm the Technical Director for TAD, designer of the loudspeakers and overseer of the design of the electronics, which is another way to say I don't know enough to design electronics. I know enough to be dangerous with electronics, which I proved 2 years ago at this show where I brought over my tape machine because I was going to play reel-to-reel tapes. And I got it here, plugged it in, and leaning over and thinking, why is it not working properly? What's that smell? Oh, I didn't change from 120 volts to 230 volts. Blew it up. Mad scramble, ended up calling Swedish National Radio here in Stockholm and borrowed a tape machine from them. So they were very gracious, and so finally your high tax dollars were put to good use. I'm going to be playing two systems. This is the first year that we've been able to show TAD as a full system approach and two entirely separate systems. We have our reference system. Reference 1, M600 power amplifiers, D600 disc, does CD, SACD, and also DAC. But new this year, first time in Europe playing this, is our new line level reference preamplifier. So it completes a reference system. We then have what I maybe laughingly call our entry level system. This is our E1 loudspeaker, again, first showing in Europe, matching with our C2000 DAC preamp, asynchronous USB 24192 capability, and our M25 two-channel power amplifier. So two complete systems. And we do that because we want to expand what our philosophy of sound is beyond just the loudspeakers into the system. We've been around for over 35 years as a loudspeaker manufacturer, but primarily in the pro field. We started in 1978 with the development of a beryllium diaphragm compression driver. And we've been manufacturing those continuously ever since. And we're very well known in the pro field, but the music business is odd. We listen to the music that the pros are making, but we don't really know how they're doing it, and vice versa. So, although we're in many of the major studios throughout the world, like Capitol Records in Hollywood and the Record Plant in Hollywood, Air Studios in London, we weren't well known at all in the home audio market. So 10 years ago I started a project to develop speakers specifically for home use, using some of the technology such as beryllium from the professional market, but adding new touches and design ideas. And we're the only manufacturer, we make all the drivers ourselves. We make the diaphragms ourselves. It's a 1.25" beryllium tweeter and 6" 6" beryllium aluminum mid-range cone. We're the only manufacturer in the world that can make a beryllium cone, and we do it with the process of vapor deposition. We have our own machines for doing the vapor deposition, so it gives it unique character and unique cost. It's very expensive to do it that way, but it gives very good results. Now, when I'm designing speakers, one of the aspects I'm always concerned about is there's a lot of computer-aided design work goes into designing both electronics and speakers. But ultimately we have to listen to them. Measurements don't tell us everything. So how do we listen? How do I, let's say, voice the loudspeaker? I can walk over to your audience table there, pick up a few CDs, listen to them and go, I'm going to tweak the speaker, oh it sounds good on that CD. Take another CD, oh, it made that one sound worse. After a while, listening to a variety of CDs and music, you might get something that sounds kind of okay on all of them. But how do you know it's right? We have this concept in high-end audio of trying to get the closest approach to the original sound. But what is the original sound? Some people define it as an acoustic instrument in a natural space, concert hall. Which is a nice idea, but unless we get the chance to listen to that directly, we don't know how it sounded. we're reliant on recording it. How do we record it? We spread microphones around. Which microphones? Every engineer has a different idea of what the best microphone is for a particular application. They'll almost get in fights over it. Then where do you place the microphones? How do you mix them? Do you apply any EQ? There's an artistic decision made on how you capture that live event. Let alone the fact that most of the music we end up listening to never existed in that form. It was created in the studio. And the recording engineer and the mastering engineer decided what that was going to sound like. So by having access to the studios, working with the studios, I get access to knowing what they wanted. So I changed my philosophy from the closest approach to the original sound into the closest approach to the original artistic intent. The artists being both the musicians and the recording engineers. And so I often go to the studios, I listen to what they're doing, I trade. I'm often asked, we'd like to borrow the speakers to do a recording venture. And I say, yeah, but give me the files. I want those high-res files so I can listen to them. And I'll go into that a bit more when I start playing the music. So we added the electronics to continue our philosophy of what the sound should be. So we have the two entirely different systems. I'll start off with our evolution system, E1, C2000 and M2500. We call it the evolution system because it's where we often introduce some of our new ideas for technology, like our first development of asynchronous USB operation that we put into this type of preamp. This power amplifier is a switching amplifier, linear power supply but switching output stage, so we developed that and put it into there. So that's why it's called evolution, although we have to be careful. It doesn't, when I'm selling in the States, evolution doesn't sell so well down in the southern states. They still haven't believed in evolution, so. And I'll play a variety of music, all sourced from my MacBook. And I do that partly for convenience. I'm traveling around the world doing shows. I no longer lose all my CDs, leave them in players in some obscure part of the world. It's all on my hard drive. And it's a very convenient way of accessing both high-res and standard-res music. It's kind of resolution agnostic. I don't have to worry, is there now a standard for, is it DVD audio, is it SATD, is it this, that and the other? No, it's a file on the computer with a codec to play it back. So it makes it very convenient for me. I'm going to start off with a fairly gentle piece, but in high-res, 24-176.4. This is from David Chesky, and it's Rebecca Pigeon singing Spanish Harlem. I think they finished next door. If not, this isn't very loud, so we should do it again.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem. She is a special one, she's never seen the sun. She only comes out when the moon is on the run and all the stars are gleaming. She's growing in the street, right up through the concrete, but soft and sweet and dreamy. There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem, with eyes as black as coal that look down in my soul and start a fire there, and then I lose control and have to
wrong equipment. So, nice and gentle, but a great recording, nice and open. Now standard resolution. This is a group called Friend and Fellow, and female voice again, but a great piece of dynamic electric guitar on here.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, boy, we couldn't get much higher. Time to hesitate it through. No time to wallow in a mire. Try now, we can only lose. Our love will come if you know higher, much higher.
Play male vocal, and this is kind of almost a transfer reference. Many people play this piece, so it'll just give you an idea of what it sounds like on the system. This is Chris Jones from the album Roadhouses and Automobiles.
Sees a call for census. The boss wanna know what's going on. So Joseph and Mary hit the road. With Mary nigh on 9 months gone. And you know we're talking about a hell of a walk. And they had no place to stay. They tried the inns and the hotels. The message was plain as day. You get no refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. No refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. One had his wall meter and a baby boy they named Miguel. On the other side of the line it's heaven, on this side is a living hell. So you do what it takes, pick up stakes and try to escape the drought. But when you get to the border of the INS, they got the welcome wagon now. You get no refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. No refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here.
Now, I'm going to finish this system with, let's say, semi-classical piece. This is Strauss, a Strauss waltz. But a fun, very fun Strauss waltz. This is, I never know the real name of it. I've given it a nickname, the Explosions Waltz. And after you hear it, you'll be no doubt why I call it this. paying for it. Okay, too much fun. I'm going to switch to the reference system now and start back again with something gentle. But this is voice and piano. This is Boz Scaggs singing My Funny Valentine. And finally, for the first time in 5 years, I'll actually be home on Valentine's Day. Because every other year I've been here, and all you sad audiophiles have left your loved ones home to come listen to Hi-Fi, which is why I always try and shame you with My Funny Valentine. But this is taken directly off the master tape. It's one of my trades. Boz used 5 of the reference ones to master one of his recent live multi-channel albums, and I said, okay, let me have my pick of what you've done from the master tape. And this was such a piece.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? Don't change your hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day.
Just like when your phone goes off, you know, it's sometimes embarrassing. Did you see on YouTube recently, there was a video, there was this violinist giving this heartfelt solo concert, and halfway through one of these pieces, his cell phone went off. So he stopped the performance and he played the ringtone on his violin. It's just sorry. The other thing, I keep thinking every show I'm going to invent silent Velcro, because you hear people trying to get their cameras out, rip, 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 and silent plastic bags, because they're all rustling in. And next, that was nice and quiet, but a great performance. Now something more dynamic, staying with piano. This is actually a homegrown group. It's well, your home, not mine. It's too cold for me here. Anders with Mark Trio. I'm sorry I have to keep the music kind of short, because I'm trying to squeeze a lot in, obviously, in the 20 minutes before next door gets a chance to party. Next piece, this is a beautiful recording, done at Air Studios. You know, I was saying about accessing music. This was recorded at Air Studios, mastered on these speakers, and it was actually done for Name, you know, their recording label. And on their website is a making of this album, Meet Me in London, and it's shot in the mastering suite at Air Studios. So I was thinking, oh cool, I'll see my speakers in there. No, they turned down the lights so that you couldn't see my speakers in there. But nevertheless, it's a great recording.
Is this a vision in my mind? The law was never passed, but somehow men feel that we're only free at last. Have we really gone this far through space and time? Or is this a vision in my mind? I'm not one who make believes. I know that we are green. They only turn to brown when autumn comes around. I know just what I say. Today is not yesterday, and all things have an ending. But what I'd like to know.
Okay, so I can not run over for this 20-minute session, which I seem to keep doing. I'm going to finish with a piece by British drummer Simon Phillips. They've put together a scratch band to do a live to digital recording. So live in the studio, mixed down analog to 2-channel, and then transferred to digital. For Bill Snay, the recording engineer who with Doug Sachs did Sheffield Labs back in the 80s with the direct-to-disc recordings. And this is a remarkable piece of music and remarkably dynamic recording. 72. Gotta be good. but they recognise that piece. So that's the end of the demonstration part. I wanted to say a few things more about access to the studios and getting the recordings. Some of the recordings, I've only got 20 minutes to squeeze everything in, so there's lots of fun stuff that I'd love to play that I don't have time. Maybe when the show closes at 6 o'clock we're going to party and I'll just play all the stuff. It's interesting, a couple of years ago Tobias Lindell from studio in Gothenburg had heard the compact references and asked to borrow them for a recording session. He thought it'd be great to use them. And I agreed, I'll trade. You get the speakers, I get the files. And 6 months later, he'd finished the project, got the speakers back and the files. And that's when I realised maybe I should have asked what the music is that you're going to record. And it was Moustache, which is one of your premier heavy metal bands. So now I have high-res heavy metal, which is actually very good. I didn't have time to fit that in on this session.
What do you want for that? My email address.
Oh no, you have to purchase the speakers. That's the deal. I don't loan you the speakers. I loan Tobias the speakers. You have to purchase. But it sounds really fun, and you don't expect. Okay, I'm being musically biased here. You don't expect to like heavy metal. Yes, it's a genre that lots of people like, but you don't normally hear it in high res and well recorded. And this sounded tremendous. And it reminded me of the first time that I went to Air Studios to present these speakers. And I did my show and tell. I talked about the technology of the speakers. And then I started playing CDs. And played a few and thought, this is silly. I'm at Air Studios, why am I playing commercial CDs to illustrate what the speakers can do? So I turned it over to the guys at Air Studios and said, put on something you've recorded here and let me know what you think.
The master tapes then?
Yeah, and they played something, I still don't really know the genre, it's kind of grunge rock, garage band, some heavy metal mix, something. And they played it loud. And I had no idea what the speaker was doing. I kind of going, please. But, I don't listen to that kind of music. I can't evaluate when I hear it, is it right? So at the end, when it stopped, mercifully, finally, I said, so, what do you think? And the guy said, that was astonishing. He said, every single thing I put into that recording, I heard. Okay, so it passed the test, but I wouldn't have known that. And it's like, Tobias yesterday was here, so I put on his Moustache recording. I had already told this story, and when it finished, he said, yes, I heard everything I put in there, including the 45 dB of compression on the voice. But that illustrates the point I've been trying to make. How do you know when it's right? So that's why I say the closest approach to the original artistic intent, the artists including the recording engineers. So that basically finishes the presentation. I have to throw you out so the next people who are hammering on the door can get in. But thank you for coming. If you have any questions, you can hang around while the people are pushing you out of the way to get in. But thank you.